That's really why we don't like certain conversations. Like women over 35, the reason why we don't like certain conversations is because men do genuinely, for the most part, get better with time.
Hey, my friends, welcome to the RP Experience. Peace and love to my brothers and sisters out there. Thank you for hitting the like button, subscribing, sharing, and turn on all notifications so you know when I have a brand new video up. Today's video is going to be about men generally become better after relationships, while women tend to say the same. Not in all cases. And it may be a difference here between male and female and stuff. But I used to hear this old saying that women would say that I'm only making him better for the next woman. Actually, I remember a ex of mine, not the one that I married. It was actually one before her was saying something. And I will admit I learned a lot from her. She was an older woman. She was black, by the way, so I did date black women. Uh and I noticed that when I was younger, I generally got along better with black women that were older than me for some reason. I was in my early, well, like almost mid 20s at the time, and uh if they was 30 or a little bit older than that, they tended to appreciate the man that I was. So I'm not sure if in a way they was kind of like older, more mature, bad women, by the way, or something. Not that everything that they did was bad, but some of the ways that they moved or something, I kind of would put them in that bad girl box. So anyway, I have a couple videos here. I'm going to do this first short one now where a woman is saying herself. And this is a lot of times why I use women to talk, because I know some women are going to look at my channel. And I actually need to do a video. I think this is going to be my next video about the the red pill or the manosphere, and why I still will identify myself in that group, even though there's a lot of toxicity in there. But however, like I would say, I learned more truth from those guys. Not all of them, but especially ones like Coach Greg Adams or something, Joker, that would point out things that women do that made me not feel like alone, or think that I was the only one going through certain things, because there's some things that men go through that I do not go through. But then there's a lot of things that a lot of men do go through the same stuff. And not to say all men are good, because I know a lot of men are bad. I've had guys stab me in the back from time to time, usually over a woman. But also it could have been like over a job, or either trying to impress other people. So in some ways, men and women are very similar, especially when it comes to like the backstabbing. Anyway, let me share this video and I'll be right back.
That's really why we don't like certain conversations. Like women over 35, the reason why we don't like certain conversations is because men do genuinely, for the most part, get better with time. And a lot of women don't. And it's not because you aren't beautiful anymore. It's because you let life get on you and you stop taking care of yourself. Because think about it. After your third heartbreak, bitch, would you want to date you? Who really wants to come through and clean up all this fucking trauma these others left behind because you mismanaged your pussy your whole life? And I don't even get the same pussy that these got. You won't even give me that pussy, but you want me to handle you a certain type of way. But you are stressing me out. Why do women live longer? Because we know how to suffer. Women live longer because women usually suffer better than men. That's why men will leave you and go start a whole nother family.
Okay, in that short recording, she said a lot. I'm not sure why she was like shaking a little bit. I'm not sure she's has like a health condition. I remember when I was younger in my teens, there would be women in church that would shake like that when they were talking. And I think they was probably in their 40s, 50s or something. So I attribute to that to their age. Anyway, I'm not going to poke fun on that. I just noticed that, and I'm pretty sure some of you will notice that as well. Anyway, I do generally believe that men generally become better after a breakup than women. That's after they can pick themselves off the ground after being heart crushed. Generally, uh, a lot of us will go to the gym, we'll concentrate on our finances, we'll get more focused on our goals and stuff because, as most men will say, when a relationship fails, most of the time we look at ourselves, whereas women do not. Women, uh, they put all the blame on the other person. That's why I don't always like that self love thing because it comes from a place of, while you are valuing yourself and saying you deserve this and that, the thing is, though, you're not looking at your mistakes or your bad decisions that put you in certain situations, and that's not to beat yourself up, but to like look at yourself and be like, hey, I did this here. I had a temper problem. I need to learn to control my temper. uh I complain about people not being able to communicate to me. I'm talking to the women here, but I tend to like scream or go passive aggressive or silent and expect the person to read my mind. So I mean, it's like things like that. Now, however, I will say not as many men will look at themselves and fix certain things that they were doing, uh like maybe hearing their woman out more or valuing their opinion a little bit more. Now, we don't always look at those types of things. Now, some guys do. Like I know I put myself under a microscope with a lot of things after I stopped feeling sorry for myself, okay? But some guys may not do that. So a lot of us do go for like the the outer appearance, but definitely with the money, um becoming more focused on our money and things like that. But then there is a lot of us that will try to become a better man in other ways. Now, I think with women, they may focus on how they look. They may, not many times, because they're uh I actually see sometimes when a woman leaves a man, her looks actually goes down. she puts less emphasis on how she looks. She goes to the gym less. Her diet of how she eats is worse than what it was when she was with the guy. So yeah, that's the trap I think a lot of women get into, because other women do not tell them the truth. Instead of being supportive, you don't have to bring the other person down, but you can also point out things that they did wrong. And that's another thing too. Once a woman has had quite a few like heartbreaks or something, this goes for men too. I had to dig myself out of that hole myself. And that's part of the reason why I'm doing this kind of content, because this was kind of like my therapy in a way of getting things out that I held in for years. And for people that only knew one side of the story, but as I usually say, once you know both sides of the story, you can look at both people kind of sideways, like, well, they was wrong for doing that and they was wrong for doing that. It's not always just the guy's fault. So pretty much that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this short video, but as a lot of men will agree, we generally do become better after a breakup, whereas women just lean on their laurels. And once your looks start to fade, then that's why a lot of you will like spaz out and become super bitter, because you're not getting that same type of attention, and you never really put any work into being a kinder individual, or even if the lovey-dovey feeling is gone, of treating that man with respect. Anyway, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this short one, and I'll have another video coming out soon, probably later on tonight. Peace.
You can't take women from two different societies and compare.
Look at the divorce rate.
That's not our fault. Who's supposed to lead the household?
You're the ones that initiate the divorces!
Okay. Why do y'all not lead us to be better than and not divorced?
You don't listen. You argue. You're not even listening right now.
I'm listening. I believe what I'm saying.
Well, then, if you're going to listen, start with shutting up, okay? When you date a Japanese girl and she loves you, know the most common thing she says? She says, if you're happy, I'm happy.
Seriously, do you see how she mocked it? That was true femininity, but American women think that that's just some kind of a joke, or that it's a caricature.
And you said that women in Japan, like, those are the only true princesses that you've seen.
You don't act like a princess.
How? You've seen me for, like, what?
You act like a Dairy Queen.
I still wanna run to you. Am I breaking through? Do you feel me too? Kendall made it. I still wanna run to you.